Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, I want you to picture something for a second. Imagine a modern-day kid visiting the Taj Mahal right at sunrise. The morning air is super crisp, that golden light is just starting to hit the pristine white marble, and as they reach out to touch the cold, ancient stone, what if touching that marble magically transported you straight through time? Instantly, we are whisked away from the modern world and dropped right into the 17th century India. We have just arrived at the absolute height of the magnificent Mughal Empire, a massively powerful realm ruled by Emperor Shah Jahan. Just imagine the vibrant colors, the bustling streets, and the sheer, awe-inspiring scale of his domain.
And right there beside the emperor, we meet his queen, Mumtaz Mahal. Now theirs was truly an empire built on love. Mumtaz wasn't just some royal figurehead sitting quietly in the background. Historical sources actually show she was a remarkably kind, highly intelligent, and compassionate leader in her own right. She and the emperor shared this incredibly deep, profound bond that went way beyond the typical political marriages of the era.
But tragically, this beautiful story takes a devastating turn. Mumtaz Mahal passes away during childbirth. This unexpected loss completely shatters Shah Jahan. He is plunged into a grief so unimaginably deep that he makes a solemn vow to build the world's absolute greatest monument. His ultimate goal? To immortalize their eternal love in stone. He literally wanted to capture a vision of heaven on earth for her resting place. What happened next changed history forever. Out of this devastating heartbreak, an unprecedented architectural mobilization began. We're not just talking about some local building project here. This was a massive, epic undertaking that would pull vast resources, immense wealth, and the brightest minds from across the entire known world. The sheer scale of this is just staggering. 20,000. That is the estimated number of highly skilled artisans, master architects, talented calligraphers, and tireless stone carvers who brought this vision to life. Picture a bustling, temporary city dedicated purely to art and engineering, working relentlessly on a single laser-focused project for approximately 22 years. So, you might be wondering, how on earth do you supply an army of 20,000 builders? Well, it required a totally mind-blowing logistical network. We're talking massive elephant caravans hauling the heaviest blocks, thousands of ox carts trundling across the dusty plains, and fleets of barges floating heavy cargo down the Yamuna River. They literally built a living, breathing supply chain just to transport the dazzling white Makrana marble and precious materials from regions all across Asia. But this was only the beginning. The logistics of moving all those stones were staggering, for sure, but the true brilliance of this story really emerges when we look at the breathtaking artistic details they were about to create with all that gathered material. One of the most crucial secrets lies in a technique known as pietra dura, the incredibly intricate art of marble inlay. Imagine these vibrant, semi-precious gemstones being meticulously cut into the shapes of tiny petals and leaves. They were fitted into the solid marble walls with such microscopic precision that even today, you literally can't feel the seams when you run your hand over them. It's almost like the stones magically grew out of the marble itself. Now let's take a stroll outside into the incredible grounds, specifically the Charbagh. Surrounding the massive mausoleum is a perfectly symmetrical Persian-style garden expressly designed to symbolize paradise on earth. It perfectly mirrors the monument's grand design. And right down the center, a reflection pool overflowing with symbolic meaning, literally reflecting the beauty of the Taj Mahal back at itself to create this magical illusion of infinite depth. The sheer architectural genius at play here is just phenomenal. We've got perfect bilateral symmetry and a massive central onion dome dominating the skyline. But, if these architectural elements had personalities and could talk, those four towering minarets would definitely be bragging right now about being tilted slightly outward on purpose. Why? So that, in the rare event of an earthquake, they'd fall gracefully away from the main dome, keeping it completely safe. Meanwhile, those intricate marble jolly screens would be boasting about their flawless geometry and how perfectly they bounce sound to create those famous haunting acoustics inside. The greatest secret of the Taj Mahal was still waiting. Because as magnificent as that massive central dome and the sweeping symmetry are, the designers actually embedded even more mind-bending tricks right into the very walls for us to discover. Take a look at this absolute masterpiece of perspective. The beautiful black Quranic calligraphy that frames the grand arches, it actually isn't uniform in size. The letters physically increase in size and thickness the higher up they go on those massive walls. Look carefully. The architects left behind an incredible illusion. Because they intentionally enlarged the text at the top, the calligraphy appears to be the exact same size to a person standing all the way down at ground level. It's an absolute, unparalleled mastery of mathematics and visual perspective that tricks the human eye flawlessly.
But hey, beauty and visual illusions require a rock-solid base, right? Beneath all this marvel lies highly advanced, totally ingenious engineering. The builders used deep well foundations, digging massive cylindrical wells and filling them with timber and rubble. Now, why timber? Because the wood actually absorbs moisture from the adjacent Yamuna River, keeping it from drying out and rotting. This brilliant use of the environment ensures the incredibly heavy structure above remains perfectly stable, even centuries later.
Few people know what these walls are really hiding. And while the structural secrets and engineering tricks we just talked about are fascinating, verified facts, it is just as important in this explainer to separate the true history from the countless rumors that naturally pop up around a monument of this magnitude. Over the centuries, some pretty wild stories have circulated, like the famous, spooky rumor of the Black Taj, a matching black marble mausoleum supposedly planned for Shah Jahan across the river. But when we compare popular legend to verified history, the truth is super clear. There is absolutely no reliable historical evidence for this dark twin. Honestly, the real math and engineering are way more impressive than the made-up myths anyway. Returning to those verified marvels, we have got to talk about the magical properties of that white Makrana marble. The entire monument dramatically changes color as the sun and moon travel across the sky. It casts a soft pink hue in the morning sun, turns a dazzling, almost blinding white at midday, adopts rich, warm golden colors at sunset, and even becomes hauntingly translucent under the moonlight. It genuinely feels like a living, breathing building. Given everything we've just uncovered, it's really no surprise that this extraordinary culmination of art, geometry, and craftsmanship holds the titles it does. It is officially a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is rightfully celebrated as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It truly is the ultimate masterpiece where engineering, math, and art intersect perfectly.
So, as our young traveler snaps back to the present sunrise, forever changed by this magical journey through time, we want to leave you with this final thought. Knowing the hidden math, the incredibly clever engineering, and the profound love built directly into these very walls, how will you look at the world's monuments from now on? What other magical, historical secrets are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for you to look a little closer? Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and keep exploring.